Senesi and Sarr are out, and it's Man City players I'm probably going to replace them with, possibly even for a hit. Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are well and you had a good game week 13. If you're on triple captain, I feel for you. Haaland rarely blanks when Man City score 3 goals. If you're on free hit, you had a big fat green arrow, and that's where we're going to start with today's show, just having a quick look at the week just gone. My free hit, if I'd stuck with the template, the double Villa defence, the Kevin Schade and the Gakpo lineup, I would have had around 70 points. Instead, I changed things up. I went a little bit riskier. I went double Brentford defence. Clean sheet wipeout in the 85th minute. They were both on for bonus points too. 16 points, went to 4 points. But Isak came in with a goal, and I'm glad I punted there. I'm glad I had fun with Marlon. And it was still a very good, healthy green arrow. Thank you, Phil Foden, for 15 points. Thank you, Thiago, for 13 points. And then, yeah, Emi Martinez comes and gets a save point. Isak points. O'Reilly points. It's a very good free hit, and pretty much everyone on the chip had a good week. But it is Man City we're going to talk about a lot in today's show. 2 of the big free hit names, Foden and O'Reilly, are top of my wish list this week. So let me just show you my team before any transfers. And guys, many of us have Senesi red flagged and Ismaila Sarr orange flagged. These players are out of game week 14. Remember, it's a midweek game week. It's come thick and fast. But let's talk about the good first and foremost. Very happy with Raya in goal. Richards, Virgil, and at the moment, Senesi at the back red flagged. So either Mukiele or Kilman come in. We'll speak about who comes in or if I make a transfer there. My midfield, Minter. This is such a good week for him. Brighton, a big away win at Forest. I fancy Minter versus Villa. He's been a bright spark, and I can see why so many want to buy him. He's been in my team for ages, and he's done really well for me. Again, Saka versus Brentford is a captaincy option. We'll speak captaincy today. Sarr's going to have to be sold. In fact, let me update you on Sarr. This is why Sarr needs to be sold. There was a tweet from a journo at the game. Glasner was quoted saying, "We all have to assess him further, but the ankle is quite swollen, so I think he'll miss a few games. Maybe we won't see him again before AFCON." Now, of course, there's a 1% chance he does play game week 14. It's a swollen ankle, but very unlikely. I think Sarr is an immediate sell, especially if you have a fairly weak bench like I do. Semenyo at home to Everton. Semenyo was so unlucky at Sunderland. He was again the best player on the pitch. So close to a couple of assists. Big numbers. I expect Semenyo to do well against Everton at the Vitality. Bournemouth are so fun. They always score goals. And Burmo's a captaincy option. We'll speak about him versus West Ham. Haaland, another captaincy option. Fulham, and then Mateta at Burnley. It's a thin bench. It's a good 11, but changes need to be made. I only have 1 free transfer. Frustrating to only have 1 free transfer, because ideally you're going into this week with a couple. I'd be getting rid of Senesi or a defender transfer and Sarr, but I only have the 1. Therefore, is a hit on the cards? Maybe it is. I've got 1.8 million in the bank though, which is a nice position to be. If we're talking about upgrades, I can reach some really good players. I can sell player A and I can shop for player B in a completely different price band, which I think is going to be quite important. Little bit of fun now, guys. Can you see your country on screen? Yeah, you can, because this is everyone that watches my channel. Only 40% though are in the UK, which means only 40% of you probably watch Match of the Day. Now, Match of the Day, you've all heard of it from the BBC, is the best football highlights package out there every Saturday and Sunday night. And to the other 60%, you need it in your life. Now, you can get it in your life if you get NordVPN. Guys, there is a QR code on screen. There is a link in the description. Do check it out. Now, to the 40% in England, what do you do when you go on holiday? Well, that was me, right? I went to Italy for 3 months from March this year, and I've been a NordVPN customer ever since. I got NordVPN, I went to Italy, I still watch my Sky, my TNT, and my Match of the Day. You saw me doing videos out there, right? I've been a Nord customer first and a partner second. This is my first advert with NordVPN. They sponsor today's show, and I've been a customer for 9 months. Guys, I love the product, and I wouldn't be bringing it to you if it wasn't unbelievable value. So, a 2-year plan with 4 free extra months, nordvpn.com/Gianni. Great to watch extra content from different countries, but also for all your cybersecurity. Guys, you don't need telling, right? There's so many benefits to NordVPN. Go check it out. I'll keep the QR code on screen as well. So guys, back to my team. I've said I'm interested in Man City and we've got to talk about the Man City assets. But before we do, let's look at the fixture ticker. This helps us. Now, the schedule for Man City, I've gone all the way up to game week 21. Why game week 21, Gianni? Well, game week 21 for Man City goes right up until the first week of January. And then there's like a 2-week break, right? So in terms of like the festive schedule up to the second week of January, that's game week 21. So I think that's important. How many games are your players going to play in all of these fixtures? Now, United are top, Newcastle are second, and City third. This is filtered by difficulty on Fantasy Football Scout. Now, I'm interested in all these teams. I like Bruno, I like Waltemada and the Newcastle defence, but Man City might just be my priority this week. Let's look at the fixtures. It's Fulham first away. Now, that is a tough place to go. Of course it is. Sunderland at home, I like. Palace away is tough, but West Ham at home, I like. And Forest and Sunderland again, and Chelsea and Brighton, it's a good run of, 8 games. Phil Foden has been playing unbelievable football of late. And when you look at the schedule, do you look at this and go, Phil Foden's going to miss games? I don't think he does. Now, Phil Foden, we'll look at his minutes in a minute. But first, let's just look at that schedule. So, obviously, they beat Leeds on Saturday. They played Tuesday night. So the turnaround is Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday. But remember, before Leeds, Foden got a rest, right? Then it's Real Madrid, and then it's a Sunday game. So again, it's Saturday, Wednesday, Sunday. That's quite good. Then surely it's Foden's rest. The 17th of December versus Brentford. It's the EFL quarter-final. You expect heavy rotation. But he does get a rest in the thick of this fixture run. And it's the Brentford game. Then you look at West Ham and Forest and Sunderland and Chelsea, and maybe there's a rest there and some minutes in one game. But I think all these Premier League games, maybe bar one, Foden starts. The way he's playing right now, Pep needs him, and he's put him on the pitch pretty much at all times. Was he hooked yesterday? Saturday? No, he stays on the pitch for the winner. Foden is playing unbelievable football right now, and I know many will be thinking this is chasing last week's points. Now, I had him on free hit, but guys, I've been saying for weeks, do not sell Foden. He's not been getting the points. Let's just look at his points before Leeds, right? You can see Newcastle there in game week 12, all the way down. A 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 3, and a 3. Rubbish points. But the column that matters for me as someone buying him is the expected goal involvement. Let me just take you to the right-hand side of this column, of this screen. The XGI, the expected goals and assists combined. From Brentford, 0.49. You're happy if your player is clocking 0.5 XGI. Then with Foden's quality, that's going to convert to a lot of goals and assists. 0.64, 0.57. Okay, a couple of 0.21s, which isn't the end of the world. Foden can still get points on that. And then a 0.75. And then obviously against Leeds, really high numbers, even better. And he went and got his 15-pointer. Foden is playing as Pep's number 1 choice, number 10. He's absolutely in this team and he's locked in Pep's team. He has started every listen to this, he started every Premier League football match for City since game week 3, right? Foden is a lock in Pep's team. Game week 3 was the last time he didn't start for Man City. So when we talk about is he nailed, what more do you want? He started every week since game week 3. He's also pretty affordable. At 8 million and only 5.8% owned, I think we've got ourselves a genuine differential with high upside here. So look, Phil Foden. How can he come into this team? Well, quite comfortably now. I've got 1.8 million in the bank. I've got 1 free transfer. And remember what I said earlier about Sarr. We flashed it up. Sarr ain't going to play. He's orange flagged, but he might as well be red flagged. Sarr out, Foden in, leaving me with 0.3 million in the bank. Yeah, I like that move. I like that move very, very much. And I think that's a move I'm going to make this week. Now, I was looking at maybe selling a Semenyo and maybe going to a Bruno Fernandes. Let's talk a little bit about Bruno. Again, 2 assists and bonus points. He's a brilliant option. I think I'll probably sell Mbermo to Bruno in a few weeks' time. Do I want to double up on the Man United midfield? Well, when we look back at the fixture ticker, Man United are top. West Ham, Wolves, Bournemouth, it's a great run. But I don't know if I want to go there just yet on the double up. Do I prefer Foden? Also, I don't really want to sell Semenyo. Semenyo was brilliant against Sunderland. He was really, really good. He should have returned. And I quite like Semenyo versus Everton. So I think I'm going Foden this week. But there's every chance I go Semenyo to Bruno, probably like 20%. And I'm probably 80% going to go Sarr to Foden. So let's drop Foden into this team. That leaves me with 0.3 million in the bank. So what would you do, guys? Would you make a second transfer? Let me know in the comments. by the way, guys, do hit that like button. And if you want to subscribe, that'd be awesome. So 0.3 million doesn't give me much for a Senesi upgrade, does it? Of course I can upgrade Senesi. And there's options there. Like I can sell Senesi for 4.8 million. That's my sale price. Who costs 5.1 million? O'Reilly. O'Reilly? O'Reilly is the obvious. Don't know what that was. Apologies, team. O'Reilly is the obvious, but it's a 4-point hit. Do I want to make a 4-point hit here? Let's just drop O'Reilly in, and that leaves 0.00 in the bank and a -4. And look, let me show you Riley's numbers. I've showed you the Foden stuff. I've included the Leeds fixture in. Again, O'Reilly, I think, has only missed one game since game week 3 in terms of not starting, and that was Villa away. With Aït-Nouri going to AFCON, with Aït-Nouri playing terribly against Leverkusen in the Champions League, O'Reilly feels nailed. Now, we're talking about a natural number 8 here. O'Reilly is a midfielder, make no doubt about it. It's his natural position. He's been asked to play left back and he's doing it really well, but he's a midfielder. And you can see he drifts into midfield from left back and he's really comfortable. He's also useful on set pieces. We saw him win the header, which was his assist at the weekend. But he also had a 0.89 XG against Leeds. And his XG is really impressive and his expected assist is impressive. Again, let's look at that final column. Expected goal involvement for a defender. Who in the game matches this? Not even Daniel Munoz matches this. 1.1, 0.28, 0.12, 0.45, 0.2, 0.44 in the last 6 matches. Super impressive, guys. You're going to get attacking returns. Do you get enough clean sheets from City? I think you probably do. I know Leeds scored a couple, but City have so much of the ball. They don't concede many chances. It's annoying. The chances they concede are often big chances. Leeds scored from 2 big chances. Is it worth the -4? I don't know. I don't think it is because I'd need an immediate return, and I've got to remember we're going to be given a ton of transfers very soon. Remember, we're all topped up to 5 transfers. So let's go back to my team and put Senesi back in, but let's bench Senesi. And who do we start? Do you fancy Kilman versus United or Mukiele at Anfield? I think you probably prefer Mukiele, just. So let's put Mukiele in. The big decision here would be, can I use my 0.3 and sell Kilman and buy a defender for 4.6? The problem is there isn't really a 4.6 million defender I want to buy this week. Certainly not on a hit. I'm interested in City and I'm interested in Newcastle. I think Newcastle defenders are really interesting. And let's talk a little bit about Newcastle defenders because we saw at the weekend Livramento and Hall back in the 11 and that made a big difference. The problem is for Newcastle defenders, the ones that are starting, Malik Chow 4.9, Byrne 5.1, Livramento 4.9 and Hall 5.2. Share is 5.3 when he plays. They're all too expensive. I can't go from Kilman to a Newcastle defender. And I think Senesi, yes, he's not got great fixtures, but he's so good for DEFCON. And I would be only selling him at 4.8. I paid 4.6. I think I probably want him in the team. Remember, he is only suspended for 1 game. This isn't a red flag injury. This is a suspension for 1 game. So I think I probably soak it up and don't take the hit. So as things stand, it's Mukiele in this team with Senesi on the bench, Foden in, and 0.3 million in the bank for next week, where probably I do need to make a defender upgrade. But again, it would be for free, not for a 4-point hit. So as things stand, guys, that's where I'm at. I think Foden's a really nice pick. Now, obviously this week, there's more to discuss because captaincy is a really, really big one. Where are you guys at with captaincy? Please let me know. The fast turnaround might help us. Maybe we're not going to overthink it. Maybe the obvious route is just there staring us in the face and it's the game's best player, despite the fact he's just blanked. It's Erling Haaland. Now, the fact that he's just blanked means there will be a lot that look against Haaland. And the fact that Bruno Fernandes has gone and got a couple of goals, a couple of assists, a couple of attacking returns, a lot will go there if they own him. But I would say the 4 main options are Haaland away to Fulham. And I've polled this on Twitter. Bruno and Mbeumo both at home to West Ham. And Saka at home to Brentford's a legit option. I know Brentford are good, but Saka at home's a legit option. So where do you go with the armband? I mean, could you punt on a Mateta away at Burnley? I like Burnley at Turf Moor and Palace look tired. So I think it's these 4 options. And for me, it's Mbeumo, Saka or Haaland, right? As things stand, I don't think I'm going to go Haaland. I think I'm back against him. I think I'm probably 30% Haaland, 30% Saka, and 40% Mbeumo. But this will go down to the wire, and I'll do a deadline stream to discuss it. There's clearly like the positives and negatives of all. To go through them one by one, I'm already going to own double City attack if I buy Foden. I've already got eggs in baskets. Do I want to effectively own triple attack and go Haaland? I quite respect the Fulham defence, and they play Tuesday. The turnaround is Saturday, Tuesday for City. It's fine. It's not ideal. Arsenal played Chelsea on the late game on Sunday, but they're at home to Brentford, and they are looking great. And Saka's always fun. But I think Man United, who have the extra day's recovery. Remember, Man United played the early game on Sunday, but then it's the late game on Thursday. And Mbeumo, as like a bit of a, I'm going to AFCON soon. West Ham's a good fixture for me. I didn't do much versus Palace, but I can come back and score against West Ham. And Mbeumo has been the focal point and the best Man United attacker. And I think if I was putting a gun to my head, I'd probably be saying Mbeumo captain, given the spacing, given the United form, given the fact I don't own Bruno. It's a bit of a shield pick because if Mbeumo scores, Bruno's probably involved. I think that's where I go with the armband. But as I said, guys, it's going to be a last-minute decision. What I do think happens with my team, though, I see Foden coming in, and I see unlikely I take a 4-point hit. I probably just throw Mukiele in and cross my fingers. So guys, that is where I'm at. Thank you for watching. Hit those buttons on the way out, and I will see you for another video tomorrow.